By the time you can't see your own hand, she can count the hairs on a mouse's back. As light dies, Nova's eyes begin their transformation. Her pupil expands from a needle slit to a full black moon, siphoning the last traces of dusk. 2 days without a kill. Her cubs, Thorn and Fern, lie curled in the den, their hunger cries almost silent now. She knows, hunt or lose them both. She leaves the den, swallowed by the forest. What she sees is impossible. A world reborn in green fire, every twig sharp, every breath a flicker of light. The forest is a cathedral of shadows. Her pupils, gigantic, collect light no human retina would ever register. She moves like smoke through the trees, a silhouette of pure purpose. In the final blackness, only her eyes exist, 2 faint green flames, the tapetum lucidum already reflecting back the dark. Tonight, she is the greatest predator the night has ever known. But there is no guarantee. She glides through the cathedral of shadows, her night vision painting the forest in green fire, every leaf edge razor sharp. Each paw falls with a predator's silence. The dry leaf litter registers only a whisper of her passing. Suddenly, she freezes mid-stride. A foreleg rests suspended, every muscle coiled for the unknown. Her ears rotate independently, capturing a sound so faint it would be lost on any other creature. Her whiskers brush a fallen log, mapping its texture. Every crevice a data point in the dark. They fan out then, reading the air for the faintest disturbance. A breath, a heartbeat, a twitch. She opens her mouth just a crack, tasting the night sky for a trace of scent. For a fleeting second, she glances back over her shoulder. The den holds everything she fights for. The night becomes a map of sound. Her brain calculates distance and direction with ruthless precision. There, a shape shimmers in her green night vision. Prey. She drops lower, beginning her stalk. The shimmer resolves. A snowshoe hare, its white winter coat, a ghost in her night sight. To human eyes, only black. To Nova, the hair glows like a living lamp. She slinks closer. Each pad placement a silent calculation. Closer, close enough to strike. The hare's head rises, ears rotating. It senses a disturbance. Nova becomes stone, a long moment of suspended death. Neither moves. Then the hare lowers its head again. She gathers her hindquarters. The coiling of a spring. Her eyes never leave the hare's neck. One last step. A dry twig snaps under her paw like a firecracker. The hare explodes. Nova springs, a blur of fury. But the hare is already a white dart between the trees. Her claws slice empty air. She lands hard, a cloud of leaves, and the hare is gone. Silence returns. The hunt is not a gift. It is a test. She must begin again, deep in her retina, a weapon unlike any human eye possesses. Rod cells packed 100 times denser than ours. Each rod can catch a single photon, a particle of light too faint to ever register in your vision, and build an image from it. But the snap of a twig taught her a brutal lesson. Night eyes alone are not enough. She needs every sense, so her whiskers fan out, reading the air currents like a blind man reads Braille. They catch the faintest breath of air, carrying a familiar scent, snowshoe hare. She follows the invisible trail, each step a silent calculation, a prayer to the dark. And there, nibbling grass in a moonlit clearing, completely unaware, a new hare. Her ears rotate independently, locking the distance with the precision of radar. She freezes, one paw suspended, every muscle a coiled promise of death. This time she will not lose. The stalk begins again, slow, perfect, absolute. She closes the distance in a dreamlike glide, her whiskers tracing the pulse of the hare's breathing. Each vibration in the grass tells her precisely how far, how fast, how alive it is. Then the hare stops chewing. Its ears flatten. It knows something is wrong. Nova becomes stone. Not a whisker quivers. Not a breath escapes her. Her eyes, twin moons of hunger, lock onto the hare's silhouette with lethal patience. In the den, Thorn and Fern whimper weakly. Their hunger is a clock ticking toward silence. For a fleeting second, she glances back toward the den, where her cubs are fading. Yet she does not move. The hare is a spring, coiled to vanish at the slightest provocation. Seconds stretch into a suspended eternity. The forest is a tomb. Two mothers, two hungers, locked in a battle of stillness. Only one will survive the night. From the canopy, an owl shrieks. The hare flinches, a fatal tremor. Nova does not think. Her body becomes a missile, every rod cell burning with the image of the strike. But the hare is lightning. It twists, and Nova's claws rake only air. Mid-leap, her ears catch the shift in wind. Her whiskers taste the new trajectory, and she torques her spine impossibly. She lands off balance, but the hare is now zigzagging, desperate, no longer a silent stalk, but a brutal sprint. Her paws shred the forest floor, each stride a violent explosion of leaves and earth. Vision blurs. She navigates by sound and touch, a living sonar chasing a ghost. The hare veers left toward a fallen log, a gamble to lose her. It will fail. She pushes harder, drawing from the last well of strength a mother keeps for her young. The chase enters its final phase. One predator, one prey, and a night that cares for neither. Her whiskers read the air like a ship's compass. Every dart of the hare sends ripples across her face. Those stiff, sensory hairs detect air displacements thinner than a spider's silk. The hare's panic written in wind. Her ears, pivoting like radar dishes, triangulate the footfalls, building a mental map sharp enough to navigate blind. She does not need sight now. She races through absolute blackness, a predator of pure sound and touch. The hare plunges into a dense thicket of thorny underbrush, twisting between branches too tight for a larger body. Nova does not slow. She contorts through the gaps, her whiskers grazing the barbed stems, reading the hare's escape route. It vaults over a fallen log. She follows without a second's hesitation, a leap born of absolute trust in her sensor array. Her brain processes the microsecond delays, sound arriving at one ear, a fraction before the other, and converts it into a three-dimensional chase. This is sonar, not vision. The night has become a whisper map, and she is the hunter who can read it. But the underbrush grows denser, and the hare is a vanishing white flicker. The hunt teeters on a razor's edge. The underbrush splits, a moonlit corridor. The hare, a white ghost, skids into the open, eyes wild. Nova's eyes ignite. Behind her retina, a living mirror called the tapetum lucidum catches the faintest moonlight and sends it back through. It passes each photon through her rod-rich retina twice, doubling available light. To her, the night brightens like a second moon rising. Her pupils, already immense, now glow with an unearthly green fire, reflecting the very soul of the hunt. Every hair on the hare's pelt is a blade of green light. Every shudder, a map of life and death. She does not slow. She loads her hind legs, a coiled promise of murder, and springs. The hare sees the catastrophe coming. A carnivore of nightmare made real. It bolts, too late. Nova is airborne, a bolt of muscle and hunger. Every sense, every rod cell, every vibrating whisker, locked on the kill. For a split second, the night itself holds its breath, suspending the world in a single terrible frame. The pounce. But at the last instant, the hare jukes. A desperate, dying twist. Her whiskers read the air shift. Her ears triangulate the new path. She torques her body impossibly, a mid-air correction, and her right paw slams down like a hammer. The impact is final. The hare is pinned, its spine crushed under perfected predation, a bite to the neck, swift and merciful. The struggle ends. The night's long work is done. Blood on her muzzle. No roar, just the heavy breath of a mother who has won. She must eat, not for hunger, but for fuel. The journey back will be brutal. She tears into warm flesh, consuming just enough to carry the rest. Her cubs need this more. Then she grips the carcass, the weight almost too much, and turns toward the den. Her eyes find a hint of dawn. Still hours away, she begins to walk, the forest dark, indifferent. Victory is not a kill. Victory is the moment she drops this hare at their feet. She is not there yet. The hare weighs nearly as much as she does, and the roots grab at her feet. She will not stop. She scrambles over a moss-slick log, whiskers tracing its hollows, never releasing her prize. A brief pause. Her eyes find the invisible line to the den. She must cover it, one aching step at a time. Ahead, a rocky slope cuts into the dark. The long path is safer, but twice the distance. She doesn't hesitate. The cubs can't wait. She starts the climb, dragging the dead weight upward. Every muscle shrieks as she hauls the hare over sharp stones, its body snagging on every ridge. A patch of gravel slides. Her paw slips, and the hare lurches backward. Toward the drop, she digs her hind claws into the dirt, seizing and wrenches the carcass back onto the ledge. Exhaustion spins the world. For a breath, she sags, sides heaving. Then the memory of her cubs' empty bellies cuts through, and she rises. She clamps her jaw tighter on the fur and resumes the slope. There is no other way. The den is waiting, but the slope is a river of loose stone. Another patch gives way, and the hare slides from her jaws, tumbling backward. She spins with a frantic hiss, plunging downhill after it, claws ripping stone. It lodges at the edge of a drop-off, half over the void. She pounces, claws hooking deep into the flesh, halting the fall. Grunting, she drags it back onto solid ground, her heart a frantic hammer against her ribs. She sinks onto the rock, sides shuddering, the hare pressed beside her. A long, trembling pauses. Close her eyes. The world swims in a sea of spent muscle. She is empty. Then a sound drifts in. Not here, but from within. A weak whimper. Thorn, fern, their hollow bellies, their fading cries cut through the numbness. They are still alive. They are still waiting. Her eyes snap open. The fire returns, dim but unquenchable. She will not die tonight. She grips the hare once more, jaw screaming, and rises. The path ahead is merciless, but she is more so. The sky begins to pale. A cold blue light seeps through the pines. Dawn is breaking. Then, carried on the still air, a sound so faint it might be memory. A tiny mew. Nova stops. Her ears swivel, zeroing in. Another cry, weaker. Thorn, fern. They are still alive. She surges forward, the hare a dead weight behind her, but now lighter than air. Her cubs' voices pull her home. The slope ends. She crests the ridge, and there, across a stretch of forest, the den, only a few hundred yards of leaf litter and root. She can smell them now, the milky scent of her cubs. Her pupils, still wide from the night, begin their slow return to day. But she needs no vision now. Her world is scent and sound. She picks up speed, a predator reborn. The hare skids behind her, but she barely feels it now. The forest opens. The den's dark mouth yawns ahead. She hears thin whimpers, then silence. No, just a pause between mews. She closes the last distance, her body screaming, but her heart hammering with a single promise. She is almost home. She reaches the dark mouth of the den. With one last heave, she drops the hare at the stony entrance. For a breath, silence. Then, two frail shapes stagger from the shadows, noses twitching, eyes huge with starvation. Thorn and fern fall upon the hare with desperate, trembling jaws. They rip into the flesh, famished, finally fed. Tiny paws stab at the meat, mirroring the kill that brought it here. The future hunter's learning. Nova collapses just inside the den, legs giving out. Her sides heave. She does not eat. She only watches. The glow fades from her eyes. Day reclaims her pupils. The machine of night vision shuts down. Mission complete. Fern wobbles over and nuzzles her mother's blood-caked chin. Nova's rasping tongue finds her head, a single tender stroke. Thorn keeps eating, but his tiny tail flicks in mute gratitude. The family, whole again, outside. The first true sunbeam lances into the den, touching her fur with gold. The long night is over, from absolute darkness to this golden stillness. Every rod cell, every glint of tapetum, every whisper her whiskers caught, all has led to here. Her eyes hold the secret, that living mirror behind the retina, the tapetum lucidum, a layer of cells, evolved to betray the dark. It caught the moon's ghost and sent it back through her rod-packed retina, giving every photon a second chance to reach her mind. In the dark, those millions of rod cells painted a world of green fire from less light than a star gives off. But her whiskers read the braille of the wind, and her ears measured the silent map of the forest, a predator's sonar. When her vision failed, her touch and hearing became a cascading net of data, built by evolution for a single purpose: survival. Now the machine rests, her pupils thin to slits, the tapetum dormant. She is just a mother again. Thorn and Fern nurse the last scraps of meat, their bellies full for the first time in days, their coats already thickening with life. The sun climbs, the den warms. Nova closes her eyes, letting the golden light wash over her. For now, the hunt is won. But this is not a superpower reserved for heroes. It is the quiet inheritance of every bobcat that has ever lived. And when night falls again, those eyes will open, those pupils will bloom, and the superpower will awaken once more. Nova's rasping tongue finds Fern's face again, cleaning the last traces of blood from her daughter's fur. Thorn presses his head into her flank, purring for the first time in days. A soft breeze curls into the den, carrying the scent of pine and the promise of a full day. The cubs, bellies full, begin to tumble over one another, testing their new strength. Nova's eyes, still heavy with exhaustion, follow their play like a guardian's prayer. Outside, the world has forgotten the night's terror. Birds call, leaves glisten. The den is a hidden pocket of stone and earth, invisible to all but those who belong. And Nova lies still, her body a map of sacrifice, her breath one with the mountain. By dusk, the hunt will whisper again. But for now, there is only this: a mother who saw in the dark and brought home the sun. The cubs' play grows bolder now, their leaps stronger with each hour. The hare's gift has already begun to mend them. Nova dozes, one eye cracked open, the protector's instinct never fully dulled by exhaustion. In her dreams, perhaps, she still chases the white flicker, still hears the brittle snap of the twig. But the nightmare recedes. A beetle trundles past her nose. She does not stir. The den is safe, the world outside a distant rumor. The sun climbs higher, the forest floor warms. The world is not cruel, only honest. Fern, ever the observer, watches a spider spin its web at the den entrance. An education quieter than the hunt. Thorn pounces on a dry leaf, blown by the breeze, his first clumsy hunt. Nova's whiskers twitch, as if in silent approval. A soft flick of her stub tail, the only movement. Contentment. The long night is far away. The day will be long, and when dusk falls, those pupils will bloom again, and the hunter will rise. But for now, there is only the golden stillness, the small warm bodies beside her, and the sacred exhausted sleep of a mother. The sun reaches its peak, flooding the den with amber warmth. Not even a whisker betrays a hint of the predator within. Thorn and Fern are full, their tiny bellies round and soft. They curl into Nova's side, a tangle of spotted fur. Beyond the den, the forest hums with midday life. A squirrel chatters, a woodpecker drums. The world turns. The den holds its secret. A family of 3, invisible to the world, cradled in stone and shadow. Nova's dreams are of scent trails and soft rustles, of moonlight and the green fire of her own eyes. Soon, those pupils will widen again. The tapetum will ignite, and she will rise to take what the night owes her. But that is a story for another darkness. The sun is high, and for now she is simply home. A soft, contented breath. The stub tail gives one last, slow flick. Silence, full of breath and heartbeat. The world outside will call again, but not yet. Not yet. And the forest, silent witness, keeps its deepest truth, that even in absolute darkness, a mother's eyes can find the way. The afternoon sun shifts its angle through the den's mouth, painting the stone with long amber fingers. Thorn and Fern sleep deeply, their small ribs rising like the rhythm of the forest itself. A quiet hour passes, then another. The world outside the den knows nothing of last night's ordeal. Nova's eyes open, not with alarm, but with the slow, ancient knowing of twilight's approach. She gazes at the lengthening shadows, and a familiar electricity stirs behind her eyes. The sun dips below the tree line, and the forest exhales. The velvet theater of night begins to build. In the gathering blue, her pupils bloom, dark flowers opening to drink the stars. The tapetum lucidum awakens, that living mirror, ready to turn the faintest glimmer into a landscape of green fire. She rises, a ghost of muscle and silence, and moves to the mouth of the den. Tonight, the hunt will whisper again, but she will not leave alone. She carries the ancient inheritance of every bobcat that ever lived, a superpower woven into the dark. She steps to the den's edge, a silhouette against the last smear of day. For a moment, she glances back. Thorn and fern sleep on, their bellies full, their dreams untroubled by the coming darkness. They are safe. She turns away and walks into the newborn dark. Her pawfalls are silent, her resolve absolute. Her pupils bloom like ink, and the tapetum lucidum ignites, a green fire behind her gaze. The world transforms. A cathedral of green light, every twig precise, every shadow mapped. Her whiskers fan wide, reading the night's script while her ears pivot, tracing a distant tremor. She freezes, a statue of muscle and intent. The forest holds its breath, waiting for her command. Her brain assembles a three-dimensional map from sound, scent, and air, a predator's sonar. Two green flames in the impossible black. The night has eyes, and they belong to her. She continues, a silent prayer of motion and instinct, a mother who feeds her young by making the darkness her own. She drifts through the green cathedral, a phantom of silence. Every leaf a sharp blade of light, every whisper a map. A cottontail this time, a flicker of heat in the underbrush. She freezes, every muscle a coiled spring, then strikes. The pounce is a foregone conclusion, a machine of rods and whiskers closing with perfect violence. She feeds just enough, then grips the small body and turns toward the den. The weight is nothing now. By dawn, she crests the familiar ridge. The den's dark mouth waits, and a tiny mew greets her. Thorn and fern tumble out, bigger now, their eyes bright. They fall on the prey with eager, practiced jaws. Nova lies down, her eyes still holding a faint green afterglow. As the sun steals the night from her pupils, she grooms a blood-flecked ear, the quiet domesticity erasing the predator, leaving only the mother. The forest hums. A woodpecker drums. The world has no memory of the night's terror, only the quiet fact of survival. And when dusk falls again, those emerald flames will light the dark. The superpower is not a gift. It is a promise, kept every night. Dusk comes again, exactly as it always does. The long shadows crawl across the den's stony floor, and the world holds its breath. Nova's eyes open, the pupils already swelling, the tapetum catching the last ray of sun and turning it emerald. Beside her, thorn and fern stir, their full bellies a soft weight against her flank. They do not wake. They do not need to. In sleep, Fern's paw twitches, a dream of the hunt, perhaps, or just a kitten's reflex. The den, as always, holds its secret. Stone and earth, and spotted fur, a sanctuary no map can chart. Nova rises, a silent silhouette against the dying light. She glances back, the green in her eyes, a quiet promise. Then she vanishes into the forest, and the night swallows her whole. The world does not pause. An owl calls, a breeze stirs, the kittens breathe, safe in the dark, and somewhere, between the rooted trees, two emerald flames ignite. The night has eyes. It always has. It always will. Spring, summer, autumn, winter. The forest turns, but the den abides, a sanctuary of stone and patience. And always, when the sun deserts the pines, a shape glides into the darkness, eyes already alight. The same two emerald flames, born from the same ancient mirror, pierce the absolute black as they have for 10,000 nights. The tapetum lucidum, a glint of jade in the dark, is not a magic trick. It is inheritance, passed through a lineage that never breaks. In the green cathedral, every leaf a blade of light, every sound a map. She moves the same and forever new. The cubs grow. Their own pupils will learn to bloom. The inheritance is written in their very blood, and one dusk, they will slip from the den themselves, green-eyed, silent, and the forest will claim them as its own. Nova will grow old, her coat silvering, but the fire behind her gaze will never dim. It never does. The cycle knows no ending. Hunter, hunted, birth, hunger. The night receives them all and gives nothing back but the power to see in its deep. And always, in the absolute dark, two emerald flames. The night has eyes, and they are hers.